All right. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. It's 3:34. This is the City of Charleston Committee on Real Estate. I'd like to call the meeting to order. And let's get our proceedings kicked off today with an invocation. Councilmember Shade, you do the honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and appreciate the opportunity. I'm going to give my an invocation I think y'all all heard in the past. Let us set about doing the will of the people of Charleston, and in doing so, let us be people of goodwill. Therefore, we pray that the Lord bless us and keep us, that his face shine upon us and be gracious unto us, and that the Lord look upon us kindly and give us peace. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Councilman Shade. First up on the agenda is approval of the October 10th minutes. Do I hear a motion?
So move.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed? Hearing none. The ayes have it. First item on the agenda is an amendment to an agreement between the City of Charleston and the Old Exchange Building Commission for an additional year. And I see Ms. Bailey just popped up on screen. Are you going to give us the presentation on this one?
Chairman Attell, I believe Julia will be.
Actually, Chairman, I'll be doing that.
Mr. Fullick will be.
You got more punting yards than our kicker did on Saturday night. Sounds like Lee. Punt to Julia. Julia's gonna punt to Matt. Matt's gonna punt to.
I like it.
Good afternoon. So this is just our standard 1-year renewal that we do with the state for the management and operation, for overseeing the management and operation of the old exchange building. Nothing has changed. Pretty standard. I know one question we typically get is, how does the financials run, and are there any potential costs to the city? There are not. The way the existing lease runs, the museum is self-sufficient. If any point there is a deficit, the state is called to deal with that issue. It's not the city's responsibility.
Good deal. Councilman Shade.
Well, first I want to move for approval and put a plug into the old exchange building. If you haven't been out there, it's one of the 4 remaining facilities in which the Declaration of Independence was proclaimed to the citizens of the colonies back in 1776. Out of the 13 original places that the Declaration of Independence was read, the Exchange Building is one of 4 surviving structures. And the second thing is, and Mayor Tecklenburg was with me when we found this out, on the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, they reproduced the Declaration and sent a commemorative plaque, a commemorative reproduction of the original to the 13 states. And so we have one of the original 50th anniversary reproductions. So I'll just tell that to folks, why, if you're listening, if you haven't been out to the old exchange building, go out there. It's one of the more significant facilities in the city of Charleston. We're very fortunate that we have some managerial role with this facility. And I move to approve the
I second it.
the extension.
Thank you very much. Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Mr. Mayor.
If you're going to go there, Councilmember Shade, I would just add that I believe it was also the home of the South Carolina legislature when we ratified the Constitution as well.
Yeah, I think you're right about that too, Mayor. So it's one of the most significant buildings in the city that we just see is there. We should take more advantage of it. So those of you who are listening in, go out and visit the Exchange Building.
Good deal. Well, if you tuned in for a real estate committee meeting today, you've got a history lesson for free. Just throw it in on top. That's wonderful.
I got another history lesson on that building. I got a friend who's been married about 50 years, but he's got 5 wives. And after he got married the 3rd time, he said, and got divorced, he said, if I ever get married again, I'll get married again before hell freezes over. Well, he did, and he got married at the Exchange Center, and Mayor and councilmen, you would believe, after Hugo in December, remember we got 9 inches of snow. We had Hugo in September, and that December, we ended up getting 9 inches of snow. And that guy got married inside the exchange building during the 9 inches of snow. So
Wow.
I don't know if hell actually froze over, but I know we were freezing up here. I know that.
I wish I could remember the snow. I was 5 years old.
Oh, really?
Oh, God, oh.
Ooh, ouch, ouch.
Um,
You serving with living history, man.
it's amazing. What an honor.
Yeah.
We'll moved and properly seconded. This sounds like a really great thing that we do. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is an authorization for the city to acquire by negotiation or condemnation the easements and or deeds necessary for the Glen McConnell Parkway Culvert Installation Project. And the property is owned by the Carolina Bay Property Owners Association.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Do we have a report from staff on this?
Chairman Appel, I'd be happy to provide some information. So this request is, as you said, tied to the Glen McConnell Culvert Installation Project. These are 2 small pieces of property, but are necessary for the project. This is property, as you said, owned by the Property Owners Association at Carolina Bay. All of the property in this TMS number is wetland buffer. So it's undevelopable and there's not really a fair market value to it. We need to acquire a 750 square foot permanent drainage easement, and then an approximately 16,000 square foot temporary construction easement. We've had both of those portions of the parcel appraised, and both have appraised at around $500. So what we are requesting today is the authority to move forward with communicating with the Property Owners Association about acquiring these small slivers of property that the Stormwater Department needs.
Good deal. Well, hopefully they will understand the benefit of this and we can be good partners in this project.
I
Any
hope so.
questions or comments from the committee members? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and call for the vote. All in favor, please signify.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is an authorization for the mayor to accept an easement on behalf of the city of Charleston for a multi-use path across 3435 Maybank Highway.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Ms. Bailey, are you going to give the presentation on this one?
Yes, sir, Chairman, I'm happy to. This is a really straightforward easement. It's Charleston County is requiring as a part of this private entity's project. I believe Christopher Morgan might be on the call if you need anyone from planning to confirm that we're good. But this is a straightforward multi-path use dedication to the city.
This is part of the Maybank overlay requirements that the county has, and they don't have maintenance crews for sidewalks and things. So those bike ped facilities would come to us in that scenario.
Interesting. So the properties in unincorporated Charleston County, it's being developed in unincorporated Charleston County, but they want us to take care of the sidewalk for the
Correct.
property.
Correct.
Interesting. Where?
Yeah, to follow up on your point, and to channel Councilman Shahid, if this continues in the county, will we be accepting, I guess, maybe more of these with the popularity of bike pedestrian path? The reason I'm saying that, if, Mr. Morgan, if the county doesn't have that, obviously maybe they should get a department that handles that, because they certainly have a larger budget than we do. And, you know, I know through, you know, the Charleston, Berkeley, the Council of Governments, everybody's endorsing these bike pedestrian paths. So to not have a department to be able to maintain them. That doesn't make a lot of sense. So, I mean, I certainly second the motion on this, but I think that's a conversation we need to continue with the county, because as these bike pedestrian paths get approved, we certainly can't take them off of maintenance. I mean, they're gonna have to maintain theirs as they come through. But we gotta have that conversation is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you know how I feel about that.
I know you do. I know how you do.
You know, we've been having this discussion for the past 5 years about.
With the state, yeah.
Yeah.
We got the state, we can't get the county too, man.
Yeah, and I would just add another observation here. I mean, I'm a huge fan and supporter of multi-use sidewalks, pedestrian like resources, etc. But the city never adopted the Maybank corridor overlay for Johns Island or James Island. And so based on where things are headed now, the only paths that are going to be required are the properties in the unincorporated portion. So if you develop property in the city along Maybank, you don't have to do this. So if we keep going down the path that we're going right now, we could reach a scenario where you don't have to build it if you're in the city, but the city will maintain it if it's developed in the county. I just think we may need to comprehensively look at everything we're doing out there, because it just doesn't seem like the dials are maybe set quite right there, because you're not going to have connectivity if the county's requiring it, we're not requiring it, etc. But this is much bigger discussion than the real estate committee. I think that.
And Councilman, if I could just say for clarity, the city does require a 5-foot sidewalk. So this is an 8-foot bike ped facility. And it could be that over time, as we do our new zoning ordinance, that we incorporate similar provisions from the overlay into our zoning ordinance. We had backlogs of zoning ordinance amendments, and that's part of the reason why we didn't get to the Maybank overlay. And also it didn't have as high a priority as some of the COVID related things that we were having to work on. And we already require a lot of the stuff that the county did not require, and their adopting the overlay got them more in line with us. So that's been a benefit of it.
Sure. And I appreciate that further clarity, Christopher. Councilman Ware?
Yeah, let me follow up with Christopher on that one. You know, that 5-foot sidewalk, sometimes we have the 5-foot sidewalk, I don't know, about 2 feet of grass, and then you have the curb and guttering. The same thing out if you go down Ashley Town Landing, over by Costco and all of that. And I've always wondered, why didn't we just have the 8-foot bike pedestrian path? Because the 2 feet or so of grass always becomes overgrown, and it's a struggle. Who does that? It's supposed to be us cutting the grass off, the property owner. In particular, this case is undeveloped property. So I hear you on that, Mr. Morgan, but I think we ought to go ahead and just adopt when it was first put in, it looks great. You got 5 feet of sidewalk, you got 24 inches, maybe a little bit more grass, you got a nice concrete curb and guttering, until it's not maintained well and the weeds begin to grow over the grass. It would have been a lot better as an 8-foot bike pedestrian path. So in amending the zoning ordinance and planning piece, I sure wish we could do that one a little bit faster, Mr. Morgan, because we actually have the right of way from Ashley Town Landing all the way on Henry Tecklenburg Boulevard. They actually have an 8-foot bike pedestrian path. We've got the right of way, but it's just not paved. And we got 4 or 5 feet of sidewalk, and then grass, and then curb and guttering. So that, if we can clean that one up, that would be great.
Understood. Yes, sir.
Good deal. Any further discussion? All right, we've got a properly moved and seconded motion on the floor. Go ahead and call for a vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it. Next item on the agenda is a facility rental agreement between the city of Charleston and St.
Move for approval.
Playgrounds. for some pool space over at St. Andrew's Family Fitness Center.
I'm gonna second that, but I got a question. I see Ms. Yarborough on here, but I'll yield to her.
We'll turn the floor over to Ms. Yarborough for.
Yeah, I'm here just to ask for this rental agreement. This would be the second year we've done this with St. Andrews renting additional pool lane space to accommodate our year-round swim team. This would be in the late afternoons. And the fee that they're charging is really what we charge outside groups anytime they rent from us. So it would allow us to continue serving our swim team with 300 children on it. And I will answer any questions you might have.
All right, Councilman Waring.
I mean, I'm gonna vote to support this, but what's the story of L. Stevens pool? I actually went to neighborhood association meeting with West Oak Forest over there last week and got a number of questions about the status and going forward with W.L. Stevens pool. Can you
Sure.
help me out with that?
I can try. I don't know if anyone from the Parks Department's on this call or not, but we will continue using it through the end of this week. The water temperature is still on, the heater's still on, Councilmember Waring, so we're able to take care of keeping the water heated, but the mornings and the late afternoons are getting cooler, so we can't continue to have our staff out there working outdoors, nor having people in or out of the pool. So at that point, every program will shift over to MLK, which was recently renovated and will accommodate many more swimmers. The long-term plan is to rebuild a new pool at Forest Park and renovate that entire park. That funding piece is not in place yet, but it has been a part of conversations with the Parks and Rec master plan that I know we're anxious to do a workshop with you all in early January to start talking about how that funding looks. But that first piece of restoring another year-round pool to our inventory and replacing it in West Ashley at Forest Park is the plan.
Is WL a 50-meter pool?
No, sir, it's a 25-yard pool. The only 50-meter pool we have is MLK downtown.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. And I thought the punter did a great job Saturday night for the Gamecocks. I thought he should have gotten the game ball.
I agree. He
got one.
kept us out of deep trouble.
I think Shane said he gave him one.
He should have.
He did a great job. He's got a good arm too.
Yes.
Well, good deal, guys. Well, thank y'all for that explanation. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I think we've got a motion properly moved and seconded on the floor. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it. Now to our annexation.
Move for approval of all three.
Second.
In the words of Lee Corso, since we're doing college football theme today, not so fast, my friend. We've got a deferral. Last minute, item number 2, I believe, had to be deferred. So maybe we'll just move to take the first and the third one together. Councilman Shea, do you mind amending your motion?
I'll amend my motion to take item E1 and E3.
I'll second that amendment.
Because I don't want District 5 to have one more up on me on annexation to this time.
They're gonna make it fair. All good. All in favor of approving 1 and 3, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it. Do we need to take a formal vote to defer number 2, or is the email that I got right before the meeting
So
sufficient?
move.
I'll second.
Moved and properly seconded to defer item 2. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, hearing none, the ayes have it. And does anybody have anything for the good of the order or any other historical tidbits or comments on the South Carolina game?
Yeah, I mean, I was up in New England and I didn't even know you guys were playing. I mean, they didn't even have it on TV up there. I couldn't believe it.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's people missed out. It was a heck of a game.
They still think like colonialists up there.
Well, good deal. Well, thanks again for everybody. And I think we've got Public Works and Utilities at 5. And we'll see some of y'all then. Thanks.
All right, see y'all later.